Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. An internal investigation is underway into the conduct of a Tasmania police officer while making an arrest over a stabbing in Hobart. Filmed appearing to smash the suspect's head into the ground. And a warning, the vision in this story may distress some viewers.
A scuffle in Salamanca as police arrest a man. But once he's down, an officer appears to lift his head up and slam it back onto the bitumen, seeming to throw several punches.
Oh, you don't hit him. That's assault.
You just stabbed somebody.
Oh, I didn't know that, did I?
Police say he's responsible for stabbing another man on Salamanca lawns in the early hours of Sunday morning. The victim was taken to hospital for treatment. Police say they haven't received a complaint about the arrest, but the incident is now being reviewed by professional standards.
That's assault, mate.
The arrested suspect has since been charged with wounding. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
The state government has been accused of dragging its heels when it comes to combating Tasmania's problem with knife crimes. One Blackmans Bay family again speaking out, calling for police to be given powers to search some of Tasmania's crime hotspots.
Lorraine Ludwig's life was turned upside down when her son Reed lost his life during a random knife attack in 2019. Since then, she's been urging Tasmania's leaders to implement protection measures to combat knife crime, a move proving successful in many other states.
All of the research that I've been doing over the last 4 years proves that it's really just a common sense approach. It's a light implement, it doesn't add extra burden to the police.
The opposition today committing to equipping police with handheld scanners used to detect knives. The policy would be dubbed Reed's Law, similar to Jack's Law, which originated in Queensland.
We've also spoken to the hospitality sector, to workers in the hospitality sector who are scared. We've spoken to retail workers who tell us that the biggest issue at work for them is their own safety.
The plan includes putting hotspots like Salamanca and Launceston's Mall under the spotlight, allowing police the power to scan patrons with the non-invasive wand. It was independent David O'Byrne who raised the matter in Parliament's question time yesterday, concerned about statistics which suggest 4% of assaults recorded last year involved a knife. He's now joining the calls for urgent action to stop preventable deaths.
Instead of, I think, the government finding reasons why not to do it, they should just get on and do it because it will make the community safer.
The state government says it's already acting when it comes to knife crime, introducing legislation for stronger search powers and tougher penalties. But for the Ludwig family, the changes couldn't come soon enough.
We need to do something very active and very soon.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
The Port of Bell Bay is about to receive a much-needed upgrade. Its 30-year-old wood chip loader will make way for a multi-million-dollar replacement, able to send more Tasmanian timber around the globe.
Burnie might be famous for its wood chip pile, but the Port of Bell Bay is no small player. 2 million tonnes passing through this dock every year.
Essential for receiving and exporting our forest and wood products, not only to the mainland but international destinations.
This trusty shiploader is responsible for all that heavy lifting, but built in 1992, it's getting on in years, and a lot has changed since then.
Over the last 3 to 5 years in particular, we've seen the width or the beam of forestry vessels continue to get wider and wider, and the new shiploader will be able to throw the wood chips further into the hull.
A $15 million investment from the state and Tasports will see a flashy replacement take over in about 2 years' time.
Supporting a $1.2 billion industry to our state economy and over 3,000 jobs.
It adds a few efficiencies to the process, including automatic sampling and fumigation of the wood chips for biosecurity. But speed isn't necessarily the aim of the game.
The difference with this shiploader is that we're not focused on speed of loading, we're focused on compaction.
Meaning more Tassie timber can be packed onto every ship. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Hundreds of polar researchers from across the country have issued an emergency statement calling for urgent action to deal with the impacts of climate change in Antarctica. Over the past week, more than 450 researchers met in Hobart for the Australian Antarctic Research Conference, warning of the potential dire consequences of rapid sea level rises caused by melting ice sheets.
The East Antarctic ice sheet itself has the potential for approximately 40 metres of sea level rise, which obviously could hugely influence all of our coastal infrastructure, people, agriculture capability.
Things are going to become a bit more intense going forward. There's change and there's also acceleration of this change. And we are observing both of these things.
Almost 2/3 of attendees were early career researchers. Local businesses in Kingborough are welcoming the co-location of the Jack Jumpers and Devils high performance centres. The state government says the developments will bring major benefits to the region, boosting employment opportunities and supercharging the local economy.
More than just a precinct for elite sports, but a game changer for Kingborough's business sector. Proponents forecasting major economic benefits to the region thanks to the co-located Jack Jumpers and Devils high performance centres.
Sporting infrastructure centrepiece for the state, but also a really important economic driver for this region and southern Tasmania more generally.
The facilities predicted to inject over $23 million into the local economy by the time they open in 2028, and a further $55 million once they're in full operation.
If you're a small business person, that now gives you 2 years to plan on how you can better support these and how you can make a serious dollar in your community.
With some already welcoming the news.
Really exciting, all the sports, those high performance, definitely it will draw the, more attention from other side of Kingston.
Both developments also set to boost the construction workforce.
We're starting to see activity levels fall away, especially in the private sector, and this represents a great commitment to our industry and skills going forward.
AFL High Performance Centre will have 250 jobs through the construction and the ongoing operations of that centre.
A similar projection for the Jack Jumpers side, with around 40 tradespeople to be employed during construction, also helping to upskill future tradies in the sector.
New people trained up, apprenticeships, whatnot, a lot of young people come through.
Rebecca Gaidaneris at 7 Tasmanian News.
Tasmania's best wrestlers are heading into uncharted territory, preparing to wow audiences in the state's south for the first time. The Ultimate Fight Night has been 10 years in the making for the Launceston-based crew, and they're ready to rumble.
Sorrel, it's time to smackdown. Tasmanian Championship Wrestling is hitting the road for a breakout show.
We've been trying for a lot of years to get down to Hobart, and we've finally managed to pull it off, so very excited to see how it goes.
From humble beginnings in a Launceston community hall,
we didn't even have a ring set up that day, so it's just some mats on the floor,
to thrilling hundreds of fans with edge-of-your-seat tumbles 10 years later. Tasmania's answer to WrestleMania is warming up for a new crowd at South East Stadium.
We've got 200 people coming guaranteed at this rate. Hopefully we'll get a few more through the door on the night. It's going to be massive.
We're going to find this whole brand new audience that I think are going to love what we have to offer.
Tomorrow night's battle pits some of the state's biggest wrestling names against one another, ready to smash their opponents one dramatic takedown at a time.
It's like the most violent pantomime you'll ever see. It's full of yays, full of boos, and that's what we really aim for. We want you to cheer, we want you to boo our bad guys, we just want you to be involved.
Highest of highs, cheering, being really supportive of the good guy, and then also booing the bad guy.
A no-holds-barred night in and out of the ring. So, are you ready to rumble? Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmania Fire Service volunteer has met up with those who saved his life a year ago. Robert Elliott was the Cranbrook Brigade Chief when he had a cardiac arrest while on the job at Swansea.
Reuniting with the emergency services personnel who breathed life back into him. Robert Elliott, who has been with the Tasmanian Fire Service for nearly 3 decades, is happy he is still around after suffering a cardiac arrest while on fire duties at Swansea 12 months ago.
We got a couple of trucks bogged
trying to access this fire, and I was on the radio, and that's when it happened. And Tom, who was in the truck with me, pulled me out, and him and Bill started CPR on me, and then the other guys turned up with defib, and it went from there.
The quick-thinking actions of Rob's colleagues were instrumental in his revival.
It is confronting, but it is one of your mates, and he just needed a hand, and that's what we did.
I knew from talking to the doctor early on that it was not good, and that it was certainly urgent to get him back to Hobart.
The Westpac rescue helicopter flew the 52-year-old to the Royal Hobart Hospital. Rob's wife, Suzanne, maintained a bedside vigil.
The first week was really touch and go. We didn't know whether Robert was going to survive, probably for a good week.
While he has stepped back from his duties as Brigade Chief, Rob continues to volunteer with the TFS.
I did a first aid course 20 odd years ago, and they said that you'll probably use the first aid course CPR on a friend or a colleague. I never thought I'd be the colleague.
Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
The Canes need a win tomorrow to play finals, slipping out of the WBBL's top 4 after a 22-run loss to the Renegades at Ninja Stadium last night. Nicola Carey's 3 for 26, the highlight for the hosts who struggled to chase down the 150-run target. Elise Villani, our high scorer, on 36. Earlier in the night, the Sixers and Scorchers kicked off the doubleheader with a nail-biter. Needing 2 runs off the last ball, the Sixers could only manage 1, sending it to a super over, both smashing 15 runs for a draw. University is hunting their first Kookaburra Cup in 4 years when they take on Inform Newtown at Ninja Stadium this weekend. Usually flush with state-contracted players, they've been doing just fine without them lately as younger teammates step up.
There's only 2 of us above the age of 23, like myself and Paddy Dooley, so yeah, pretty stoked. Credit goes to the guys, like they've stood up in crucial moments, and yeah, they deserve to be there on Sunday.
Meanwhile, Greater Northern Raider Aidan O'Connor has landed another huge call-up, named in the Prime Minister's 11 to play Pakistan in a pink ball match at Adelaide Oval in a fortnight. And Tasmanian-born basketballer Chris Goulding has smashed the Continental Cup's single-game record, landing 9 three-pointers as Australia beat Thailand overnight. Smithton's Jacob Furphy shooting 5 points in the 101-48 Asian Cup qualifier win. And Kim, the Tigers women have just started their last Hockey One regular season match, having already qualified for their first final series, which will be played in Hobart. So good luck to them.
Yeah, it's going to be a good final series. Thank you very much, Nick. Well, summer seems to have arrived early. Peter Murphy will join us with more after the break.
Good evening. Hobart reached 22 degrees this Friday, Launceston 27, Devonport 20 and Burnie 21. All temperatures above average. Bushy Park 27, Grove and Lyawini 25, Strawn 24 today, Flinders Island and Friendly Beaches 23, St Helens and King Island 22, all quite warm. Just patchy high cloud stream from the west, a small amount of low cloud gathered over the east. Storms have fired up over most of northern Australia, eastern WA and northeast New South Wales. High cloud also moves from central Australia to over the Bight. Tomorrow, troughs line up with a cold front to our west with centres of high pressure either side. We'll have north-northeasterly winds at 10 to 20 knots, tending north-northwesterly in the afternoon. Winds to 25 knots over the southwest lakes, so we do have a strong wind warning there for the southwest lakes region. Hobart kicks off the weekend with a possible shower developing later in the day. 29 the top before that, 29 for Maydena, partly cloudy for Oatlands, 28 the maximum. Launceston tomorrow, 29 and partly cloudy, a possible shower for Devonport, 22 the top. Showers developing in the mountains, Lyawini, a high of 21 degrees. 22 for Burnie with a shower or two, same for Strawn, but 25 the maximum and 21 for Marrawar. St Helens a high tomorrow of 26 degrees and partly cloudy, warming up to 29. Swansea and Orford are partly cloudy, 26. On Sunday, a few showers through Bass Strait, fine for the rest of the state. Just the chance of a shower over the northeast on Monday, otherwise fine. And on Tuesday, a shower for the central, north and east, light winds and afternoon sea breezes. Sunny and 29 in Perth tomorrow, rain developing in Adelaide. A hot day for Melbourne, 37 there ahead of a late cool change. Sunny and warm in Canberra and Sydney, a possible shower for Brisbane. 19 in Hobart, it's 23 right now in Launceston, Devonport currently 18 degrees. That wraps up Friday's weather, Kim.
And it also wraps up your local news. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Good night.